Well, the Israelis have effectively taken over American media, and obviously this should be concerning because it means, one, we're going to be indoctrinated, two, we're going to be censored, three, people that work for these major big companies could be they're at risk of losing their job if they speak up against Israel. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about. Bari Weiss has recently been named the new editor-in-chief of CBS News. Now, Bari Weiss was the owner, or is the owner, of the Free Press, which she just recently sold to CBS News for $150 million. Is it worth that? I don't exactly know where they get their valuations, but $150 million, not a small amount of money. Plus, she gets elevated to editor-in-chief of CBS News. Now, a lot of people are congratulating her, saying she deserves it. I see Megyn Kelly. There's others that say this is well-deserved. Some are saying people are just jealous. That's why they're ragging on Bari Weiss. This was a well-deserved, well-earned promotion and acquisition. But was it? Was it? Or maybe it was Israeli nepotism. Now, let me explain. Who owns CBS News? Well, I'll show you who owns CBS News. This guy. Who's this guy? Larry Ellison. Oh, gee, he's been in the news a lot lately. What else does he own? Oh, that's right, TikTok. He owns TikTok. You know, I didn't think it could happen to me, but just recently, someone stole my information and actually bought a car under my name in Texas. While I was standing in the Idaho DMV getting my new driver's license, a thief was driving off the dealer lot pretending to be me. And I only caught it because I was getting bombarded with alerts. Now imagine if I hadn't seen them in time. And this is exactly why today's sponsor, Aura, matters. If you've ever wondered how scammers get your personal info, your phone number, your address, even where you supposedly work, it's because of data brokers. These shady companies collect your data and sell it to anyone, from marketers to scammers, and they make billions doing it. They don't ask your permission. And while they're legally required to remove your info if you ask, they make the process nearly impossible on purpose. Believe me, I'm going through it right now. But if I had Aura set up before, this thief would have had a much harder time. Aura automatically scans and scrubs your information from those data broker sites, and then it keeps it off. It also gives you real-time fraud alerts, so instead of finding out a day later that someone used your name, you get notified right away. That's the kind of tool I wish I had in place when all of this happened. But Aura is more than just removing your data from shady brokers. It's an all-in-one digital security app. It alerts you if your personal info is found on the dark web. It monitors your credit and bank accounts in real time. It gives you a secure VPN, password manager, antivirus, and more. And if something does happen, Aura covers you with up to $5 million in identity theft insurance and 24/7 US-based fraud support. The fact that companies profit off of our stolen data while we're left vulnerable is outrageous. I learned that the hard way. But I'm not leaving myself unprotected anymore, and you shouldn't either. Protect yourself and your family with Aura. Try it free for 14 days at aura.com/Kim Iverson. And in just 2 weeks, Aura will show you where your personal data is being exposed and start scrubbing it off the internet automatically. Again, that's aura.com/Kim Iverson. Larry Ellison and family actually own Paramount Skydance, which is a massive corporation which holds these brands. Look at all these brands that are under the Paramount Skydance banner. And the Ellison family owns now all of these brands. That's Paramount, all of Paramount Pictures. So that's a lot of big movies. You could imagine Hollywood actors. You could imagine people working in Hollywood, working in the movie industry. If they want to speak up against Palestine, speak up against Israel in favor of Palestine, do you think that they might be at risk of losing their jobs now that the Ellison family controls Paramount Pictures? They control CBS, including CBS News, MTV, Nickelodeon, BET, Miramax. The list goes on with the number of brands that are under the Paramount Skydance umbrella that are run by the Ellison family, which also now owns TikTok. So you're going to be censored on social media, pro-Israel content all the time. Any pro-Palestinian content is probably going to be suppressed. And now they're owning all of these major Hollywood brands, a lot of entertainment brands, which you know that there's not going to be any of these actors, any of these producers, any of these executives that are working for any of these brands are going to be afraid to speak up and say anything against Israel because the Ellison family owns them. And now you might say, well, just because the Ellison family is pro-Israel, just because the Ellison family is the largest single donors to the IDF, It doesn't mean they're going to be censoring content, but I'll show you exactly how they do censor. But let's go back to this guy. This is David Ellison. This is the son of Larry Ellison. He is the CEO of Paramount. And what's really bizarre about this is that Bari Weiss, it is reported that she is actually going to be reporting as editor-in-chief directly to David Ellison, bypassing traditional network leadership structure. So just to break this down, just so that you're really clear on this, Larry Ellison is the founder of Oracle, well-known mega donor to Israeli causes. He is confirmed to be the single largest private U.S. donor to the Friends of Israel Defense Forces, contributing at least $16.6 million that we know about, along with other major gifts. His son, David Ellison, heads Paramount Skydance, which now controls CBS and CBS News, following their acquisition of Paramount's media assets. And Paramount Skydance, under David Ellison, has now completed the acquisition of Bari Weiss's The Free Press, which is known for its pro-Israel online commentary, and has immediately appointed Bari Weiss as editor-in-chief of CBS News. Now, you might not remember Bari Weiss, but let me play for you the clip. What she's really well known for is when she appeared on Joe Rogan's show, and she called Tulsi Gabbard a toady, saying that she was an Assad apologist. Now, this is somebody, Bari Weiss is extremely pro-Israel. Obviously, the Israelis hated Assad. They really wanted to topple Assad. They wanted Assad out of there. Tulsi Gabbard had met with Assad, trying to hear his side of the story. Tulsi was against regime change. And Bari Weiss goes on Joe Rogan's show, calls her a toady, doesn't even know what a toady is, doesn't actually even know what Tulsi Gabbard's opinions are. And Joe Rogan actually pushes back. This made Bari look really bad, but here's the clip.
Who's in right now? So we have Kamala, Kirsten Gillibrand. Oh, monstrous. Ideas.
Well, when she was 22, she had...
No, she's an Assad toady.
What does that mean?
She is
What's a toady?
I think that I used that word correctly. Jamie, can you check what toady means?
Like toeing the line? Is that what it means?
No, I think it's like a...
How do you want to spell it?
Toadie.
What does that mean?
I think it means what I think it means.
There you go.
Toady. Definition of toadies. A person who flatters or defers to others for self-serving reasons.
A sycophant.
So she's an Assad sycophant. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's known about her.
Like, what did she say that
we have to look.
her?
I don't remember the details.
We probably should say that before we say that about her. We should probably read it rather.
Well, I have read it.
No, I mean, we should right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just so we know what she said.
Look up
I've had her
Tulsi
on
Gabbard.
Here before, and I really enjoyed talking to her. I like her a lot.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I like talking to her.
Okay.
I like talking to her. I don't know about...
I think she's like the motherlode of bad ideas.
Whoa.
I'm pretty positive about that, especially on Assad, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong.
Well, my take on her was that I think as a person who's coming from the left, who's also a veteran and is very articulate and sensible and a woman, and in talking to her, we didn't get into Assad or any of those things, but talking to her about what she feels is wrong with the current administration and the way things are running and a direction she thinks things could go in. She had some very promising ideas. I didn't know about this.
But doesn't she also, did she ever apologize for believing in conversion therapy? I
didn't even know she believed in conversion therapy.
Am I crazy?
Is that real?
I'm almost positive this is real. I think her father ran
when you say conversion therapy, you're talking about gay people.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that. I never heard that. I did hear something about when she was very young. She was like 22. She had said something about gay marriage and civil unions that she apologized for and said that she evolved. She reveals she met Assad in Syria without informing top Democrats.
I'm telling you, She
said she went on a fact-finding mission in support of peace for Syrian people, but characterized U.S.-backed rebels as terrorists.
Yeah, hold on.
I can keep looking, but
I'm telling you,
I don't have enough time to research everything all at the same time.
I can come back on when I know more.
Okay, but we can do this another time.
Okay.
But who do you think stands out for you as someone that would make a good president?
Yeah, she once touted working for an anti-gay group that backed conversion therapy. Anyway.
She once touted working for an anti...
She worked for an anti-gay group?
She worked for them, like she had a job there?
What?
You know, I'm worried. As a person who's been called alt-right adjacent,
I'm just looking
I'm
it
worried
up.
about labels. No, I understand. But you know what I mean?
Rep. Tulsi Gabbard in the early 2000s touted working for her father's anti-gay organization, which mobilized to pass a measure against same-sex marriage in Hawaii and promoted controversial conversion therapy. Yeah. FYI.
FYI. I like that Joe Rogan actually pushed back on that. He seemed really annoyed. Like, I don't like these labels. I like her. I like her, and I don't like these labels, and I get labeled things, and pushing back on her with this. But you know, her reason for calling Tulsi Gabbard a toady was because of Assad. She pivots and goes to this gay conversion therapy thing. But her real beef was Assad, because Bari Weiss is fundamentally, unequivocally, unapologetically pro-Israel. In fact, her several appearances on Joe Rogan's show, I believe she's been on a few times, she has really tried very hard to get him to take a trip with her to Israel. Over and over, she has invited Joe Rogan to go with her to Israel. You'll see the truth. You'll see Israel. You'll see the truth. You'll see Israel. And what makes that so concerning is, what is her definition of the truth? And this matters because now she's going to be the editor-in-chief of CBS News. And in this, she's actually put out a letter to the people in the CBS newsroom. And in the letter, she says, "Dear colleagues," she writes this today, "Dear colleagues, I'm thrilled and humbled to be writing you as the new editor-in-chief of CBS News. Growing up, CBS was a deep family tradition. Whenever I hear that tick, tick, tick or that trumpet fanfare, it sends me right back to our den in Pittsburgh. The opportunity to build on that legacy with you and to renew it in an era that so desperately needs it is an extraordinary privilege. Right now, I imagine you have some questions. I do too. My goal in the coming days and weeks is to get to know you. I want to hear from you about what's working, what isn't, and your thoughts on how we can make CBS News the most trusted news organization in America and the world. I'll approach it the way any reporter would, with an open mind, a fresh notebook, and an urgent deadline. What I can tell you on day one is that I stand for the same core journalistic values that have defined this profession since the beginning, and I will continue to champion them alongside you. Number one, journalism that reports on the world as it actually is. Now, from an Israeli point of view, what do you think that is? What do you think their view of how the world actually is versus how it's being perceived? They think all of this pro-Palestine, they think that the accusations of genocide, they think that's all fake news. That's what they think. So we're going to report on the world the way it actually is. Journalism, too. Journalism that is fair, fearless, and factual. Again, what does an Israeli think is factual? All they've done is lie to us over and over about tunnels and headquarters under every single hospital. Amazingly, Hamas has the most elaborate headquarter infrastructure in the world because it's underneath every single hospital, every single school, every single mosque in Gaza. It's incredible. We've never seen any evidence of it. So the Israeli idea of factual is fiction, and now she's bringing that to CBS News. 3, journalism that respects our audience enough to tell them the truth plainly, wherever it leads. 4, journalism that makes sense of a noisy, confusing world. 5, journalism that explains things clearly without pretension or jargon. 6, journalism that holds both American political parties to equal scrutiny. 7, journalism that embraces a wide spectrum of views and voices so that the audience can contend with the best arguments on all sides of a debate. I see. 8, journalism that rushes toward the most interesting and important stories regardless of their unpopularity. 9, journalism that uses all of the tools of the digital era. And 10, journalism that understands that the best way to serve America is to endeavor to present the public with facts first and foremost. How many facts do you think we're going to be getting out of CBS News from now on? We're going to be getting Israeli facts. We're going to be getting the facts that Bari Weiss, who reports directly now to David Ellison, the son of Larry Ellison, the largest donor of the IDF, the facts they want to put in front of us. This wasn't a well-deserved acquisition of the free press. This wasn't a well-deserved promotion to editor-in-chief of CBS News, somebody who's never worked in a newsroom, really. I mean, Bari Weiss comes from, New York Times. She got a bit of cred for being censored. She felt like she was being censored over there. Then she went and founded the Free Press, but she's never actually been an on-the-ground reporter the way that CBS News operates. She's never really worked in a newsroom like CBS News. And what she is she is a she's a Netanyahu toady, to use her own words. She's a Netanyahu toady. She's a total Israeli sycophant. And now she's running CBS News, and Larry Ellison owns TikTok and all of these other major brands that are going to prevent people from speaking up. In fact, here's an article from Responsible Statecraft. They actually showcase the censorship that has gone on under Ellison's control. Oracle executives love Israel, or maybe this isn't the job for you. Oracle executives, specifically what they report on here in Responsible Statecraft, Safra Katz, which is she's the executive, or actually, to be honest with you, I don't know if Safra is a male or a female. She. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so, and these days, do we ever know? Okay, basically, Safra Katz, the executive vice board chair and former CEO, have made public statements showing unwavering support for Israel and demanding the same from Oracle employees worldwide. Katz's remarks, reported in Israeli media, emphasize that Oracle's commitment to Israel is second to none, and employees uncomfortable with this stance maybe aren't the right company for them. That's what she says about Oracle. She and co-founder Larry Ellison have devoted personal time to supporting Israel. After October 7th, Hamas attack, which is tomorrow's the anniversary, Katz made it a priority to signal Oracle's support for Israel globally, displaying "We stand with Israel" on all of the company websites, not just the Israeli or U.S. sites, all of the company websites in multiple languages. "We stand with Israel." The head of Oracle, Israel, stated that Oracle's support for Israel was so strong that employees who disagree may not fit within the company culture. And employees raising concerns about one-sided political support for Israel report being referred to mental health services instead of having their issues addressed. Well, if you don't support Israel, you must be crazy, and we need to send you to mental health services. An anonymous Substack run by Oracle employees called Oracle for Palestine points to a culture of intolerance towards dissenting views, with management's political stances prioritized over open dialogue. A Times of Israel blog post by an Oracle employee corroborated the company's rejection of dissent, saying that it was refreshingly clear under Katz's leadership. A leaked email, so they were being positive about it because they were like, oh, good, yes, it's refreshingly clear. They are pro-Israel, and that's that. A leaked email from Katz to former Israeli PM Barak in 2015 reportedly advocated embedding love and respect for, this is the important part. Okay, pay attention to this. So a leaked email from Katz to former Israeli PM Ehud Barak in 2015 reportedly advocated embedding love and respect for Israel in the American culture. When confronted about this, Oracle just declined to comment. So that is the Ellison family. Also, this just came out today, the Gray Zone. Wyatt Reed and Max Blumenthal just wrote this great article today in the Gray Zone, titled "New CBS owner David Ellison met with top Israeli general in scheme to spy on Americans." Now, this is who's in charge of Paramount Skydance with all of these brands. All of these brands are under the control of the Ellisons. All of these brands. And this is what the Gray Zone article says. David Ellison, the new owner of CBS and Paramount, is implicated in an Israeli government-led operation to surveil and suppress pro-Palestine activists in the U.S., according to leaked emails. The plan is called 12 Tribes. It's aimed to recruit a group of wealthy Jewish philanthropists to fund Israeli-run surveillance firms targeting Americans, especially those supporting the BDS movement. So it's called 12 Tribes. That means they were trying to get 12 wealthy Jewish billionaires to fund Israeli-run surveillance firms targeting Americans, especially those who support the BDS movement. Leaked documents reveal that Israel's former defense minister, Benny Gantz, and others sought donations from Ellison, his father, Larry Ellison, the Oracle founder, and other billionaires such as Haim Saban and Sergey Brin. The emails leaked by Handala Hacking Collective show Ellison was considered very interested in undermining BDS in the United States. The group planned for 12 tribes, billionaires, to discreetly bankroll Israeli intelligence operations, including the use of firms like Black Cube against U.S. citizens. The operation's architects tried to maintain an appearance of independence from the Israeli state despite tight coordination. The Ellison family, through their takeover of major U.S. media, is accused of having the power to shape narratives about Israel, with David Ellison installing Bari Weiss, we just talked about this, a self-described Zionist fanatic, as CBS News editor-in-chief immediately after acquisition. And Weiss has a record as an aggressive pro-Israel activist. So this is what we're dealing with. We are dealing with now the Ellison takeover, and it gets worse. You thought this was bad enough. It actually gets worse. Let's talk about Warner Brothers Discovery. These are all the brands under the Warner Brothers Discovery brand. You've got, of course, Warner Brothers, TNT, Food Network, HBO, TBS, TLC, CNN, Max, HBO Max, HGTV, Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, New Line Cinema. Well, guess who's about to buy it? The Ellisons. How is this even allowed? How are they allowed to acquire practically all of American media and social media and run it under their Israeli thumbs? How is this even allowed? The sale of Warner Brothers Discovery to the Ellisons should be absolutely blocked. This should not be allowed. They already control too much, and they're not loyal to America. Bottom line, facts stand for themselves. This is a family, a group of people who are loyal to Israel and will censor and silence Americans and spy on Americans in order to prove and assist Israel, to prove their loyalty to Israel and to assist Israel. And Donald Trump has allowed this, didn't want the Chinese to have TikTok, but let's go ahead and give it to the Israelis. And let's go ahead and hand off one of the most heritage news organizations in America, CBS News, to the Israelis. Allow them to control it, allow them to shape the narrative and shape public opinion in America, censor Americans and indoctrinate Americans. That's what we're in for here. Our country, our news organizations, our media, our movies, our music, all of this is being taken over by pro-Israeli people. And it's, it's the Jews, people could say. It's the Jews. And Larry Ellison and family have made it very, very clear. It's not just that they're Jews. There's plenty of Jews who are not in favor of Israel. There's plenty that are speaking up and are actively against Israel. And they are luckily, some of them are powerful. Most of the powerful ones, however, unfortunately are just continuing to tout Israel, 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 and you're all a bunch of brainwashed terrorists if you think otherwise. But the Larry Ellison and family have made it very, very clear that they support Israel. They are in line with Israel. Israel is their love, and that is the end of the story. And that this should be shocking and alarming to all of us, that there has been essentially not even a hostile takeover. This has been allowed by our American leaders, by American companies that are willing to just sell to the highest bidder, for the government for not blocking the sale. The U.S. government absolutely should have never considered Larry Ellison for the purchase of TikTok. If you don't want the Chinese running TikTok, and if you're going to grill in front of the U.S. Congress the CEO, the Singaporean CEO of TikTok, and say to him, are you affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party? Over and over and over again. Are you affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party? And he kept saying, I'm Singaporean. No, I'm from Singapore. Have you served in the Chinese Communist Party military? No, I am from Singapore. No, I have not. I'm Singaporean. I'm not Chinese. And instead, we hand it over to somebody who is the largest private donor to the IDF. Why are we not dragging Larry Ellison into Congress and saying, are you a supporter of the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces? Are you truly loyal to America, or are you serving a foreign country in the Middle East? Here's the records. Here's the proof that you are very loyal to a foreign country, to the point where you've donated over $16 million to their military. This is a military, by the way. One day this will come back to bite us. We will build up the Israeli military. We will share tech with them. We will do all of these things. And one day, if they ever become our enemy, we are screwed because we handed them the keys to the castle. That's what our leaders have done. They have effectively made America extremely unsafe toward a potentially hostile Middle Eastern country. Maybe not right now. You could say, oh no, Israel's our greatest ally. Fine, that's today. But have you ever, lost a friend? Have you ever become enemies with somebody you loved? Have you ever gotten a divorce? Have you ever gotten a divorce? Well, then somebody you love, somebody you thought was your greatest ally could certainly turn on you in a second. And the next thing you know, you're enemies. And you handed them the keys to the castle. They know absolutely everything about you. They know how you operate. They know how you run. And they've got a spy organization, Mossad, and they've got a mighty military. And what are you going to do about it? That is the position our American leaders have marched us into. It is shameful. It is treasonous by all accounts. And them allowing then the takeover of American media for them to indoctrinate, censor, and silence Americans is beyond shameful. And we all should demand right now, that the sale of Warner Brothers Discovery is halted and not allowed to go through. The Ellison family controls already too much. We cannot allow them to control an ounce more. Thank you for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson Show, which you can catch Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. It is free for you to watch. Again, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, KimIversonShow.com. See you there.